This video is the instructional video of the Infinity 8000 series massage chairs. It's going to be using the 8500 and also the 8800. What you see here are the three boxes that the Infinity 8000 series massage chairs come in. This includes the 8500 as well as the 8800. You see three boxes. You have the main base of the box, which is the biggest box here. This is going to carry the backrest and the main frame and base. You're going to have this box here. It's your second largest box. This is going to be the armrest. You're going to have both armrests in this box. The box in the corner is going to be the footrest. These are the three boxes and three different parts that you need to assemble the Infinity 8000 series massage chairs. When you take the main base out of the box in the beginning, the chair is actually going to be reclined in the position it is now. Of course, it's not going to have the armrest or the footrest or the earpieces on, but it is going to be in the reclined position. What you want to do when you take it out of the box, you do want to plug it in and also plug in the remote. And what you would do is you would just turn it on, the power button, and then you would shut it back off and it will reset to its upright position. When it's in the upright position, it's the easiest way and position to actually assemble the chair and what we're going to be doing in the next 15 minutes. This part of the installation is where you're going to attach the footrest to the base of the chair. The first thing you're going to see with the footrest is you're going to see this cable here. You're going to have an air hose cable and also the electrical cable. Please make sure you have this housing underneath the main bracket here in the footrest. Underneath, you're going to see two holes where the air hose can plug into. You want to plug it in the bottom hose. And then the electrical plug, there's only one spot to plug that in, and that's where that's going to get plugged in. You then want to take the electrical plug first, and you're going to plug it right into here. You're going to hear it click in. You know that's good. Then you're going to take the air hose, and once again, you want to put it on the bottom hole, and you're going to make sure it's nice and snug. You're going to push it all the way in till about a ½ inch is sticking out from the black box here on the cable. Now that is completely set up, and the next step would be the Allen wrench bolts to the main base. Your next step is going to be is attaching the actual footrest to the base. As you can see right here, there's an Allen wrench bolt. What you're going to do is one on each side. You're actually going to unscrew it right out, and you're going to unscrew out the other side as well. Now that you have the Allen wrench or Allen bolt in your hand, you want to put the footrest and match it up to the two holes on each side. And you can actually just get the bolt, put it through the hole, and match it up to the hole that you took it out of. Now you should be able to screw it almost all the way in, and just maybe moving it a little bit to kind of get it all the way in. And then you're going to do the same with the other side. Once you do hand tight as far as you can go, you then can use the Allen wrench to just tighten it down a little bit. And you want to hand tight it in all the way. And again, like I said before, you might want to move the footrest a little bit, just to move it around a little bit so you can get as much as you possibly can hand tight. Almost all the way to the end. You're really just going to use the Allen wrench to kind of tighten it down a little bit. Now that I'm all the way in, you're going to have your Allen wrench. And what we're going to do is we're just going to tighten it a little bit. You don't want to get too tight. And that's really good there. You then want to attach the zipper here from the seat to the from the footrest to cover up all what we just did underneath. So make sure it's nice and snug, zipper this across, and now you're all set. You can't see any of the mechanics underneath. Now this is going to be how to correctly install the earpiece, which is also the speakers and the shoulder airbags. What you're going to see is you're going to have an electrical plug for the speakers, and you're going to see these two knobs for the air hoses. These are going to plug in right to the rubber grommets here, and these three bars will of course go right into these three holes here. You first want to hook up your electrical. Make sure it's clicked in. Also, again, the screw, you want to make sure it's just loose. Make sure it's still on there to the middle bar. You're going to plug in the 3 pieces to hold into these 3 holes here that holds the speaker into the chair. And you're going to make sure it's firmly in there like it is now. On the earpiece, you're going to see this little plastic covering. You're just going to push this down. And back there, you're going to see the screw that was attached to that black bar. Now you want to get your screwdriver, and it's going to just tighten the screw up to make sure the speaker is held into place. Want to make it so it's pretty snug. After you're done that, you just want to bring up the plastic covering here, and you're all set with the speaker, and you want to do the same on the opposite side. We are now going to talk about how to properly install the armrest. As you can see in my hand, we have the 3/4 turn locking nuts. They are going to go into the plastic part of the chair here to lock in the main armrest. You're going to see that there's going to be 1, 2, 3, and on the back here there's another hole on where you could put these locking nuts. You're only going to put them in 3 of the 4. You're going to put them in the 2 back ones, 1 here and 1 here, and also up here. You're going to be putting them from the side of the chair, and we will show you that angle as well. What you want to do now is with one of the locking nuts, putting it into the first hole, you want to make sure that this goes in to the hole, and you're going to push it all the way through. You can check on top to make sure that it's on the open face, ready for the armrest to go in and lock 1/4 turn to the right. You're going to do this for this hole and also the 2 rear holes we talked about before. You're then going to put in the 2 rear locking nuts. You're going to see 1 hole here. You're going to put one of your locking nuts in there and push it all the way through. Make sure that it is in the ready position so it can take the armrest when you install it. You're then going to take your second locking nut and you're going to put it in this hole here. Again, you're going to be putting locking nuts in 3 out of the 4 holes. It's going to do 2 in the rear and the 1 in the front. This is going to be installing the armrest. The first thing you want to notice is you're going to have 2 rubber grommets here at the bottom of your armrest. These are the holes for the air hoses that are right here coming out of the base. You want to plug those 2 into these 2 grommets. And you're going to be plugging them in as you're kind of putting on the armrest. So you're going to want to get the air hoses and feel where the holes are and plug them in as you're putting the armrest onto the plastic casing here, which is where the locking nuts that we put in are. We're going to be attaching the air lines to the armrest. The nicest way of doing it is make sure you have some slack here. You want to separate these 2 air lines. You're going to plug in the right one first to the right side of the grommets that we saw in the previous section. So we're going to make sure that's nice and snug in there. We're then going to get the other one and slide them, connect them right together. And that goes in nice and easy. You then want to feed some of the excess slack kind of back in between the brackets. And at that point, attach the arms into the holes where the 1/4 turn brackets are. Just like that. You're locked in there. Last thing we want to make sure is that the air lines coming from the base to the armrest are not kinked. This is an issue that sometimes happens when there's too much slack. What I mean by that is if you see this bracket here, the air lines coming up into the armrest, this is perfect. There's not a lot of slack, therefore it won't get kinked when the chair reclines back. This view can be seen from the back of the massage chair. What you want to do is you want to undo the latches from the armrest that are attached to the base on each side, and then you want to grab that lever once again underneath the backrest in the center to push the backrest forward. that is how you can get to see this view. And once again, we just want to make sure that there's not too much slack on these airlines so that it gets kinked. If there is too much slack, you can push your hand back there and kind of feed down the airlines behind that bracket. That would be the best thing you could do before you leave the assembly to make sure there is not too much slack, that it's getting kinked. Once you have your armrests with the air hoses plugged in and set into the 3 locking nuts, you then want to grab your screwdriver and put it into the first one, and you want to turn quarter turn to the right. That locked in the back armrest, as you can see. Now, to get to the second one, you have to make sure that this is unlatched from the main base on both sides. Make sure both armrests are unlatched like it is now on both sides of the chair. At that point, you get your hand, you put the bottom of the center of this chair, there's a latch. You can feel it and you hear it. You lift it up and you can push the backrest forward. This is now giving you access to the second locking nut. You then quarter turn to the front. You're now locked in there. You're going to do the same quarter turn with the front locking nut as well. You want to do this for both sides when putting in the armrest after attaching the air hoses. At that point, you can then bring the backrest back to us, and you can bring up the latch here and lock it right in on both sides. This is just a better angle on how the armrest gets latched onto the base. As you can see, this metal bar here is the bar that the armrest is going to click into. It's going to get locked into. So you want to bring up the armrest. Might have to pull it in a little bit and click it in. Once it's clicked in and it's locked in, you're all ready to go on both sides. Once you have both armrests on, you are then going to attach the remote holder to the left armrest. What you'll do is you're going to pull this off. Inside with your screwdriver, there's going to be 2 screws. What you want to do is you want to unscrew them. You're going to pull out the first screw. And pull out the second screw. You're then going to put the armrest holder right in, and you are just going to grab those screws that you pulled out and lock them both in. Once you have both screws in and it's locked in tight, you're going to grab the plastic piece we took out and just put right back on like that. Now you're going to get the back pad that will be in a separate packaging inside the main box. This is going to be what's going to go on the backrest of the chair. The first step is kind of just bringing it up here, just like this. So you can lay it on top of there. There's going to be a zipper in the back of it. It's a little easier if you do that now and just zipper it in so it's not falling off the backrest for you. And that will be seen on the top of the cushion and also attached to the backrest. Once you zipper it in, the chair it's going to stay just like this, and then we'll get to installing the air hoses to the main base. You're now going to get the cushion that we just zippered in and look in the back. You're going to see a 1 air hose. You're going to see an 8 and a 5. You're also going to see these at the base of the chair here. All you want to do is match them right up with each other. The 1 to 1, the 8 to the 8, and of course the 5 to the 5. All set here. On the other side, you can have the same thing. You're going to have a 12 airline, and you're going to attach it to the 12 airline coming out of the base, and you're going to have 1 electrical plug. That's also going to be here, and you're just going to plug that right in. You then can tuck this all away and attach the zipper to hide all that. Just like so. One of the last steps is we're going to be plugging in the power cord, if you will. We're going to plug this right into here. We are then going to be plugging in the remote. This is going to be plugging in on the left side. You then want to power on the chair here. Once that's on and the power goes to the remote, you're going to see the remote is flashing. That means the chair is ready to go on. Once you've plugged in the remote and the power cable, you're then going to put the remote onto the holder. And how you do that is there's a little hole here in the back, and this just slides right onto the arm holder. We're then going to do a quick test to make sure all the airbags are plugged in properly. You want to press the power button, which is blinking in purple, and then to the right, you're going to press the airbag button. You're going to press that. You're going to hear the chair turn on. Just want to make sure you can grab the airbags. You're going to see them filling up, the armrest, also the footrest, to make sure the airbags are filling up with air. Make sure those are all coming on. The armrest will rotate, so both armrests aren't going to come on at the same time. But make sure that everything's working. As you can see, that everything is working, so you are all set.